Well, happy hump day to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you another nightly update on Bitcoin, just like we do every single night. And I'm going to do this video just a little bit different tonight. I'm going to go through the charts and we're going to start at a weekly, work all the way down to a 1 hour. So you have short and long range targets, but I'm also going to tell you how I would trade this. We're going to stop in a couple of places. I'm going to explain what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what my thoughts are, and how we trade it. But I'm a world champion in the team roping and the rodeo events, so I'm taking those strategies and discipline that I've used out there in the arena right outside my house, bringing them right here to the crypto desk, and we're going to make y'all world champion crypto traders. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get started. Starting off with the crypto fear and greed index, currently at 25. Yesterday we were at a 26. Last week it says 24, but I know for a fact we were at a 20 because I use this to do my spot purchases. It measures market sentiment. It tells us if people are scared or if they're greedy or what's going on. And when everybody's scared, that's when I like to buy my spot bags. Every time we go into fear, I make a little small spot purchase. When we go into extreme fear, I buy just a little more. And then when we go up into greed, I sell a little off. When we go to extreme greed, I close it out. And I'll show you here on a BitUnex exchange, I put 60 bucks in Solana, 60 bucks in Ethereum. We'll see how it does. Currently, the Solana's down 6%, Ethereum's down 0.01%, but we'll keep up with that, figure out what's going on. If you need an exchange to trade on, BitUnex works really well for me. You'll find a link to that in my description. I believe you get a deposit bonus with your first time, and you get a little better fees on your trading. But we'll go on to a liquidation heat map, getting into the chart, getting into everything Bitcoin now. This measures market sentiment, or this actually is what the market makers use to track your liquidity. They don't care where your stop losses or liquidation points are. They just know they want them. They draw the charts according to it. Everything above price action is a short trade. Everything below price action is a long trade. And you can see cumulatively right now, we've got 1.3 billion worth of short trades to liquidate. But to the long side, 1.42 billion. So we're kind of right in the middle, but you can see there's some really bright pockets down here around $98,000, $99,000. There's another bright one up here about 108,000. That's pretty normal. But what I think is they may go ahead and try to come down. It made a little run up today. I'm not optimistic that's the run we're looking for, but we'll get into the charts. That's going to break all that down. It's going to explain it all in better detail. Starting off with the hourly chart, you can see we've been going down for the past several days since about the 10th of October. Been pretty ugly. Yesterday was super ugly, but we've kind of worked our way back up. What we did was we bounced off of this 382 Fibonacci at about 101,390, have worked our way up, trying to get our way back up into this golden zone. What we need to do is get in this golden zone, consolidate for a little bit, start looking at these 50 moving averages. The white is a smooth moving average. The yellow is a simple moving average. That takes 50 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart, works as support and resistance. So right now, I don't trade this. I don't go long here. I don't trust it. I feel like it's maybe some kind of corrective type move. But once we get into the golden zone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and see. If we reject off the 50, that's where I would put my short, stop loss around 103.7. And then I'd write it down to these lower targets that you see down here about $99,000 to $97,000. If we can get in this golden zone, consolidate, and run up, we need to break over this. Then I would take a long. I put my stop loss below, right around 103.5, and I'd ride it up to this weekly 50 simple moving average. If we can get above it, I would leave that trade open. If we hard reject, I'm going to get out of it. And this is a critical point that we really need to get back above this and close above it, or we're really going to see some more downside. If we can get above it, close above it, get above this 200 moving average. It takes 200 of these candles, puts a fluid line on the chart. If we can get over both of them, your next stops are 106 to 107. So that kind of gives you an idea. If we run up and reject this 50, we're going down. If we run up, break out of the 50, have a successful retest, then we're going up at least to the weekly 50, somewhere around 104.9. Moving out to a 4-hour chart, you'll get a better picture of what's going on. Still sitting in this golden zone. I kind of like to think of these as no trade zones because you really don't have a good sense of direction of where it's going to go. Tried to fall out of it today, but reclaimed it. So now I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. You can see the 50 simple moving average is sitting right about 103.1. The smooth moving average is sitting about 105.9, and you've got that weekly 50 sitting right here in the middle. What we need to do is we need to get above this 50. We need to close above the weekly 50 and the 50 simple smooth moving average. Once we do that, I will consider longs. If we reject anywhere along the way, I will take a short and I'll ride it down to those lower targets that we talked about, 95,000 to 91,580. If we can break above all of this, your next stop, 109.9, 112.8. And then on to up to extensions, if you can get over the daily 50 simple moving average, smooth moving average, sitting at about 111.0. You can get over that. 121 to 127 are your targets. You can see there's an awful lot of resistance headed up high. I'm a little concerned about how well we get up to it, but we'll play this by ear, see what happens. Like I said, if we reject here, I'd take a short. Stop loss above the 50 moving average, then ride it down. Moving out to the daily chart, I left smart money concepts on so you can see the amount of support that we have. You can see we dropped down all the way to this 200 smooth moving average. That was also the bottom of this parallel, or the bottom of this pennant, which I found was interesting. So these pennants like to fill about 70% out, and we're there, folks. So what I think, if we are going to break out of this descending pennant, it looks like we're probably on our way. Get up here, get above this 50, get above the daily 50, and then we're off to the races, guys. Your next targets are going to be 115.6 to 123.03. Then you're on up to 133 to 143.4. That's where I sit tonight. If somewhere along the way we fail, we reject off of this daily 50 smooth moving average. Like I said, these lower targets are in play. Anywhere from $95,000 to $85,000, I think, is where you end up. Daily extensions fall from $90,000 to $80,000. And then one more thing out to the weekly. You can see we're in this ascending pennant. They're bullish until you fall out of them. I think it's got a little more room to go. But what we could do is we could drop down here somewhere around $95,000 and then head up. These things, sometimes they have a tendency to fall out and then reclaim. That would put us at 94 to 85,000. What we really need to see, guys, we need to get over this weekly 50 smooth simple moving average. We can actually pull that down just a little bit to here. Okay. Yeah, it's about 102.5. We need to get over that. Then our targets are 117, 121, 133 to 142 with a possibility of 166. That's where we're at with Bitcoin. We're still kind of in that deciding moment of what's going to happen from here. So it's just not it's just a no trade zone for me. Like I said, I've showed you how I would trade this, and right now it's not worth it because you might as well take that $1,000, put it in a slot machine, pull the handle, you're going to get the same outcome. But that wraps it up for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tap that bell notification. You'll get updates as soon as we upload a video. And leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps us reach more people. But I can't thank you enough for watching tonight. My name is Chris Hare. I'm the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. We'll see you down the road.